The Super Bowl is here, and it's time to get hyped.
Oh, Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe. Thank you, baby. Thank you. You're making blood come from my damn mouth. That's what I'm talking about, baby. You gotta make blood come to the mouth. You can't just smack me and don't hit me hard. That's bullshit. When you hit a motherfucker, you hit that motherfucker. Let's kick their ass, motherfucker. Kick their ass. Let's go.
But do you need a little help translating the universal language known as football?
Pie de Cody Parking. 43 yardas. El snap. Le mete el pie. Distancia, dirección. Le dio el poste. ¡No! ¡Falló! ¡Oh! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡Los Eagles se van con la victoria! ¡Ay, papá! ¡No, señor! ¡No, señor! ¡Chicago! ¡Chicago!
A game that'll make you go from this.
We're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up. And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up. And then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
To this.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough. You know, you don't want that for them. So, but we'll be better for it, you know.
Well, forget analysts like Michael Irvin.
Oh my God, this is what's wrong with today. The young ladies today, they're not learning from mom how to cook. We're losing recipes, and now we're going to lose Peyton Manning's knowledge.
Or the Manning brothers.
Let's go to Peyton. He's going to break down that touchdown. Can't hear shit. Never mind.
When you can have analysis like this. That's where go argue with Dylan on the YouTube chats. Shit week, everybody.
Oh, the flood that came up for Dylan.
Yeah. Look, that's what Dylan does. That's all Dylan deserves.
We might actually know where they play.
And the Kelseys. I'm tired of Jason and Travis Kelce blowing up my damn TikTok feed.
I would rather have Zach Wilson.
Zach got him.
Perfect timing.
Was like, shut up.
How to at the 3-2-3.
Shit.
So,
I need to fidget with.
only on the 3-2-3. I'm your host, Reid Murphy, welcoming you to 5 epic days of our best contributors, analysis, and shenanigans, leading you to the big game. 5 days that could only be known as
Super Week.
Yeah. Moving ahead, because this is Super Week, Travis. This is Super Bowl week. We're headed to the Super Bowl, the big game, as they want you to call it, but we're pirate radio, so we're going to call it the fucking Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
It's in Las Vegas, Travis. It's a big one. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs in Viva Las Vegas. And as this being our movie show and the movie segment of the week here, I think the best way to relate to the Super Bowl is an easy one, and that is Vegas itself. An incredible city, city of lights, city of sin. You know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it becomes a movie later on, and that's what we're going to talk about here. The top 5 films about or involving Vegas. Just, you know, everything that you think about with Vegas. So let's get the top 5 going here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the 3-2-3's Top 5.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I love it.
It's Oscar worthy, isn't it? Look at that.
Best animated short, Reid Murphy.
Look, the budget's flowing on the 3-2-3. We're in 2024. We got very low. Graphic design is my passion. So we're doing the top 5 movies about or involving Vegas. in honor of the Super Bowl being in Vegas. So, Travis, we're just going to trade them as we go. We're going to start with 5. You'll do 5. I'll do 5. And or actually, I'll start because I want to save the best for last. I'm letting you. I want you to close it out. So,
thank you.
We're going to start at number 5 here, and I don't know if you have any OLIs that you want to throw in, some honorable mentions before you do your 5th, but I managed to go a straight 5 here, and I'll kick it off with a film that I don't think people really think about often and probably have forgotten about until they see it again, but that is the card gambling and card counting classic 21. Early fanfare. Premature fanfare.
Oh, Reid, what a good... That wasn't even on my mind. That is such a good thing.
21. That was a... we don't talk about Kevin. We don't talk about Spacey. But that was a Kevin Spacey classic from the... I think it was about 2008, 2009.
Yeah, man.
And it was right around that time that like Jim Sturgis was the lead. And he was like really, like a cool, handsome dude that you're like, oh, this dude's going to break out. And it just disappeared. I haven't seen him since. But I love 21. It was a really fun card counting movie. And I recommend it to everybody. You can stomach Kevin Spacey for a little bit. I promise. He's sleazy and everything. So it makes it easy to watch him. So 21 is my number 5. I don't know what you got at 5.
Oh, man. Good pick, man. Number 5, as you'll see on this list, I love a schmuck Vegas movie. And number 5 is going to be Paul Thomas Anderson's debut, Hard 8.
Ooh.
Yes, similar to The Holdovers, a melancholy trio, really revolves around 3 people mostly. Something goes horribly wrong in Vegas, and it's got to be dealt with. I don't want to say too much. This movie is, of all his canon, a little underseen, so I would just strongly recommend, in a fantastic Philip Baker Hall performance, go see Hard 8.
There you go. You got a recommendation there. We even got a recommendation this show. All right. Number 4. Number 4 for me is a Tom Cruise classic, and it's one that I don't think some people think about for Vegas necessarily, but it's one of my favorite scenes that involves Las Vegas, and that is from the movie Rain Man.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, Dustin Hoffman. They go, they use Dustin Hoffman's characters, the handicap to essentially handicap Vegas. Like he takes over Vegas, he knows his numbers. He's getting all of the, blackjack, everything. So it's a very fun scene and a very fun part and pivotal part of the film, of a ultimately beautiful and moving and fun film about brothers. And that's number 4 for me, Rain Man.
Man, you're killing it. You love a good card counting movie.
I love card counting movies. I can't do it to save my life. It would probably make people very suspicious of me in Vegas. But I've seen what happens to people that count cards, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah, great list so far, man. I'm going to go with one that might be a little higher on yours. I do not know, but I'm going to go with number 4. Put Todd Phillips on the blockbuster map, The Hangover.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I don't know about you, man, but when I was at old Dixon Smith Middle School in 2000 and 2009, there was no movie that was talked about, and we were 13. We couldn't even go see it, but kids were pirating it. They were getting their parents to take them to it. There was no movie cooler than The Hangover. Extremely quotable. Really gave Bradley Cooper and Zach Galifianakis a time to shine. And yeah, it's kind of what everyone who goes to Vegas wants to be. Like in the bottom of their heart, they kind of want to wake up with a Mike Tyson face tattoo. So number 4, a tried and true staple, The Hangover.
Who'd have thought Todd Phillips would go on from that to eventually Joker? Who'd have thought?
Oscar-nominated director, insane, man.
Well, number 3 for me is one that I don't think about it as highly as some of the other films in its series, but it is also a comedy. It is a classic comedy, and I think it deserves more love than it probably gets because it's compared to others in the film series, and that is Vegas Vacation. The Griswolds go to Vegas. Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase, they go to Vegas. Now, I think it gets looked down a little bit because, you know, you have National Lampoon's Vacation, the first one, and Christmas Vacation in the series. Those are both looked at as classics in comedy and holidays. But Vegas Vacation, I think, holds up pretty well, and I think it does. I think it competes pretty well as an overall comedy and has some very, very funny Vegas gambling parts. But ultimately, it's so much better than European Vacation, too. And it's just, it just works like that. So that's my number 3. A little off the beaten path. Vegas Vacation.
All right, man. I thought we were gonna have a ton of overlap. We have very dissimilar lists.
I love it.
Awesome,
this is what happens when I do it last minute.
Number 3, another schmuck Vegas movie, crazy underseen. It's gonna be The Cooler. It came on my radar with Alec Baldwin's supporting actor Oscar nomination. Didn't know too much about it. Love William H. Macy. Put him in everything. And it is about, I just think the concept is so funny. It is about a man who is such a jinx when people are getting hot at the craps tables. They tell William H. Macy to go over there, and their luck just starts to fall. He's getting employed for being a schmuck. It's so funny, but also it takes its characters really seriously. And Alec Baldwin does earn that Oscar nomination, and I wouldn't have been mad if William H. Macy was nominated too. It is such a bittersweet little movie, and just a great adult gem.
I love that. I've never seen that, but I would actually love to check it out now, just because that the idea of that is just so funny.
It's so funny.
The universe just works. Like you walk and just fluctuate through the universe and destroy people's paths and everything. I love that. And I love William H. Macy. So check that out. I will check it out. Number two for me. Now, if there's, we've realized that I like card counting movies, and that's a realization that I just made as doing this list. But if there's one type of movie that I love, it's a heist film. I love heist movies, bank robbery movies, but especially like a nice rich, we're gonna steal from the rich kind of film. And that is, and it's not even the classic one. This is a remake of a classic. I'm going with the Brad Pitt, George Clooney version of Ocean's 11.
Nice, man.
I love that movie. I love the dynamic across all the characters. It has an incredible collection of actors between, like we said, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Julia Roberts, Don Cheadle, Bernie Mac, rest in peace, Bernie Mac. Just a star-studded cast. So many even more from that. And I don't know, I saw it in Idaho. I just saw it on TV randomly. I was just, with like me and my roommates, we just stopped and just watched it for no reason. We were just locked into this film for the whole day. It was fun. It was funny. It had a beautiful version of Claire de Lune at the end that rolls around some of the beautiful landmarks in Vegas and the fountains of Vegas. And I don't know, it glorified Vegas to me and made me want to go even more after watching that movie. So I want to live like Danny Ocean in Las Vegas. So give me number 2 there, Ocean's 11. How about you?
Wow, man. Well, I have to say I am embarrassed to say that I have not seen a single Ocean's movie. I know I need to change that. God, I miss Bernie Mac so much. I'd see it just for him. So definitely check that out, man. Number 2 is going to be a Best Picture nominee from last year. That's going to be Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
Ooh, there we go. Fanfare.
Yeah, man. Of course, not entirely a pure Vegas movie, but I'd say the last third takes place primarily in Elvis's Vegas residency. And this movie, maybe more than many I've seen, brings out the depressing quality in Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas once, and really the reality of it is you get sucked into those machines, and everything is expensive as fuck. And there's no windows to tell you what day it is. There's no clocks anywhere. It's just its own little reality. And that can be fun for a while, And then it gets kind of depressing when you're on your last dollar, like I was. And especially with Elvis, a man who, is so associated with Vegas, it really showed Vegas kind of as a prison, kind of as an entombment of his career, where he spent his final days. And I kind of loved that portrayal of it, because usually, especially even movies on this list, it's flashy, it's fun, it's dangerous, but it can be dangerous in a really scary way. And I think Elvis does a good job of painting that.
Look, we've been talking about it since last Oscars. It was our last Oscars post show with Libby Kate. I'm getting to it. I will finish Elvis. I'm getting there. I'm getting to it. It'll happen. But I see what you mean. And I'm curious. That makes me even more curious to finish it. I want to get to that point and just see Vegas as a character like that. It's very true. I haven't been to Vegas, but I've heard the idea of no clocks, no windows. That's horrifying.
Man,
that's
Stafford High School.
That is Stafford High School. I have been to Vegas. Number one for me, though. Finish it out here. This looking at it, it might be the only overlap that we have through our list, which is kind of crazy because usually we're a lot tighter on these things. But I love this. Number one for me is a film that you already brought up at number 4. I think it's all I think about with Vegas now. It's the only, bachelor parties. The humor of this was just incredible. And I mean, you're hard pressed to get just a straight up comedy classic like this before, the past year. And that is 2007, 2008, or 2009's The Hangover. Woo! That's number one for me. It's a little cliche, a little stereotypical at this point, but God, it's so fucking funny and so Vegas. Like it's everything that you think about as a nightmare time, but also fun in Las Vegas with your guys. That's my number one, The Hangover. What do you got, Travis?
Yeah, great choice, man. Great choice. Yeah, number one, Vegas in all of its eccentricities, in all of its crimes, in all of its humor, and all of its passion. One of the great Joe Pesci performances, one of the great Bob De Niro performances. Mine had to be Martin Scorsese's Casino.
Yep.
Sometimes paired unfavorably compared to Goodfellas. I think if you pair any movie next to Goodfellas, it's going to be unfavorable. Just because it has some similar casting, I think it completely stands on its own. It is a giant saga and feels as big as Vegas itself. You just feel like you lived a little bit of a life when you finish up with Casino. And it's a movie that I haven't been brave enough to take on again because, boy, it takes a lot out of you. But it is a must see if you want to go to Vegas. If you don't, just see the Casino.
There you go. You heard him. You heard him. Now, my mom is going to be very interested in this list because she's a big Casino fan. It's a film that, wildly, as a child, I guess, is a little wild to have on all the time. But Casino was a film that was on all the time. But the other film that was on all the time as a child, which is also probably just as wild, Leaving Las Vegas with Nick Cage. I don't know where that ranks for you. Did that get as an honorable mention at all? Because I've seen it probably in its entirety just through different times walking through the living room with it being on. And I think it's probably the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
But it's an Oscar win for Nick Cage.
It sure is. That sounds like a ringing endorsement to me. I have not seen it. I really should have by now, especially how much I love Nick Cage. But honestly, what's held me back is, I've heard it's a really big bummer.
That's the best way to describe it. Yeah. That's what they put on the poster. One big bummer.
Big bummer. Damn.
Well, Travis Byram, we have one more thing to close out the show, as we do with every edition of Super Week every year, and that is asking you, and you always have like a wonderful story when I ask you these questions, when I ask you who's going to win the Super Bowl. There's always some very interesting connection I don't know. You were like, I don't remember in the past. I think you were like Joe Burrow's baby daddy or something. It was a wild. There's wild connections every year.
That was it.
So this year we have the San Francisco 49ers led by what is ultimately kind of a movie-like story in their quarterback, who was taken as the very last pick in the NFL draft.
Oh.
In Brock Purdy, he was not looked at to be a starting quarterback, let alone a star, but he has risen from third string to star starting quarterback and taking his team to the Super Bowl all in the matter of about a year and a half. And it's been an awesome experience. And then on the other side, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, led by the star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the superstar tight end Travis Kelce, who is famously dating a pop star. And they are the reigning Super Bowl champions. They're trying to defend their title this year. It hasn't happened since I think 2004 that a team has won 2 Super Bowls in a row. So, Travis Byram, I'm going to ask you here in what could be a movie in the future, this Super Bowl, who is going to win in Vegas, the San Francisco 49ers or the Kansas City Chiefs?
Okay. So, once again, with my flawless logic, I will explain why there is only one choice for me. One team for me to pick, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs, and I will tell you why.
Ooh.
I will tell you why. Reid, I need to sue for copyright infringement because this man is living my life. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts here, okay? There is a man named Travis.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Short haircut.
Yes.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is in Kansas City probably against his will. Number 3. I don't know if anyone else has gone to Kansas City. I went there. There is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing but corn. People from Kansas City are very defensive about Kansas City, and I'm glad they can hold on to something. Number 4 is dating a tall blonde. I am currently not dating a tall blonde. Have dated a tall blonde.
And her name was Taylor Swift.
This is my coming out. I dated Taylor Swift. Number 5, ruggedly handsome.
It's true. It's true.
And yeah. This is me. This is me, Reid.
This is you.
My life that is unfurling before me. This is a Prince and the Pauper situation. He should have been Travis Byram, and I should have been Travis Kelce. So my feelings of anger aside, I will vote for my doppelganger, and I do wish him all the best. Oh, God. Number 6, Reid. We were also belong to a team that is derogatory towards Native Americans.
It's true.
He's on the Kansas City Chiefs. We were Stafford High School Indians.
Yeah.
I rest my case, and I will be seeing the Kelce brothers in court.
If you had just played football at the Las Vegas of high school, Stafford High, you could have had this life. Travis Kelce can't do a Michelle Williams impression. I would bet that right now. I'd bet my ass that he can't do that.
He can't do it. I can play football.
Right.
Would he, shave his head at a bachelor party? I don't think so.
No, he did not. Out of here, Travis Kelce. Both of you, all you Kelces. You're not Travis Byram. He had a reality show called Catching Kelce. We had Banging Byram. We had your story. New heights. We should be new heights. Oh, we're not bitter. That's Travis Byram, everybody. That's Mr. B. Thank you so much for being here, Travis. We love you.
Thanks for having me, man. A blast. Go see Casino, go see the Cooler, and go Chiefs.
And go watch that Breaking Bad reboot.
I'll be there.